Hey everybody, it's Jeff Underwood with the Life vs. Stuff road trip, and today I want to share with you a message from the book Crazy Love by Francis Chan. Here's the book. If you get a chance, pick up a copy, read it, read the whole thing through, because it's a great book to really challenge people who are Christians or who say they're followers of Christ, to really look at how are we living and how did Jesus really teach us that we're supposed to live. And of course, love is the number one thing. In chapter 4, and I just realized you can see my sleeping bag back here behind me for when I sleep in the car, but I want to look at chapter 4 today. It's about being lukewarm with your faith. And Francis Chan really dives into this, and I love what he says in here. Listen to this. He says, "I quickly found that the American church is a difficult place to fit in if you want to live out New Testament Christianity. The goals of American Christianity are often a nice marriage, children who don't swear, and good church attendance. Taking the words of Christ literally and seriously is rarely considered. That's for the radicals who are unbalanced and who go overboard. Most of us want a balanced life that we can control, that is safe, and that does not involve suffering." Great message right there to start this off. And then he gets into sharing what it means to be lukewarm. So I'm going to share a few of those with you right now. Lukewarm people give money to charity and to the church as long as it doesn't impinge on their standard of living. If they have a little extra and it's easy and safe to give, then they do. So what he's saying here, and I can see this. I mean, this is just the way it is. People with their money really attaches to our hearts. I mean, it takes us and it traps us, that whole love of money. And what he's saying here is, well, if we have a little extra, then we're willing to give some. As long as it doesn't hurt, as long as it doesn't affect the way that we live our own lives, then I'm willing to give some to help others in need and to help the church. And that's not the way we're supposed to give. We're supposed to have a joyful heart when we give. He goes on to say that lukewarm people are thankful for their luxuries and comforts and rarely consider trying to give as much as possible to the poor. They are quick to point out, Jesus never said money is the root of all evil, only that the love of money is. Untold numbers of lukewarm people feel called to minister to the rich, and very few feel called to minister to the poor. Convicting statements. He goes on to say that lukewarm people feel secure because they attend church, made a profession of faith at age 12, were baptized, come from a Christian family, vote Republican, or live in America. Just as the prophets in the Old Testament warned Israel that they were not safe just because they lived in the land of Israel, so we are not safe just because we wear the label Christian, or because some people persist in calling us a Christian nation. So just because we were born in a Christian family, raised in a Christian family, does not necessarily mean that your heart has been transformed to be a follower of Christ, to be a true Christian, living differently than the rest of society, living out how God designed Christians to live their lives. In Matthew 7:21 it says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven." It's a great verse, Matthew 7:21. Francis Chan goes on to say that lukewarm people do not live by faith. Their lives are structured so they never have to. They don't have to trust God if something unexpected happens because they have a savings account. They don't need God to help them. They have their retirement plan in place. They don't genuinely seek out what life God would have them live. They have life figured out and mapped out. They don't depend on God on a daily basis. Their refrigerators are full, and for the most part, they're in good health. The truth is, their lives wouldn't look much different if they suddenly stopped believing in God. Let me read that last part again. The truth is, their lives wouldn't look much different if they suddenly stopped believing in God. And that's the challenge that I have. That's the question that I've been asking on this trip is, aren't we supposed to live differently? If we truly say that we're a Christ follower, aren't we supposed to live differently than the rest of society? I mean, it should look different. And we should feel like we want to help give and provide and take care of those in need. I mean, that's just part of being a Christian. See, I think that we put, I've had people tell me before that, well, it's just by faith alone that we're saved. Well, if you have the faith and you have Christ living in you, then the works part, or getting involved to help others, just comes natural. It's just a natural thing to want to do the things that Christ commanded us to do. If Christ is living in you, then those things come natural. And the last one I want to share with you is, lukewarm people probably drink and swear less than average, but besides that, they really aren't very different from your typical unbeliever. They equate their partially sanitized lives with holiness, but they couldn't be more wrong. Anyway, this is a great book. I highly recommend picking up. Again, Crazy Love by Francis Chan. And I hope that you take some of the things I've said and really just think about them a little bit more. Just really ponder over them and say, gosh, pray to God. Say, God, am I living the way that you designed me to live? Am I living the life of a follower of Jesus? That's the question. That's the question. I hope you all are having a fantastic evening, and I look forward to keeping you updated as I continue to travel. Thanks so much for your prayers and support. I will talk to you soon. Take care.